Hi there, this is Dr. John Whitcomb giving this week's talk on for News in Nutrition. The topic this week is The Trouble with Iron Part 2, Your Brain on Iron. I am referencing in this talk the new book called The Mind Span Diet by Preston Estep, and if you haven't read this book, it's a must. In regard to your brain, there are several issues to review. Now, last week we talked about, remember, antagonistic pleiotropy, which is a complicated word but a simple idea, and that is what's good for you at one age is not so good for you later. And with iron, that's particularly true. The human species was designed to make to absorb a lot of iron, so that women could be pregnant frequently and give away that iron to babies. And then women have menstrual periods and lose iron. However, men never have that opportunity, so men accumulate iron a lot. And if you do epidemiology and look around the world, you find that men get Alzheimer's earlier because they accumulate iron all their life. What about women who have hysterectomy and thereby stop having periods? Well, then they stop losing iron and they have the onset of dementia sooner. The same thing for young women who go through premature menopause in their 20s and 30s. They accumulate iron faster and have dementia sooner. Further epidemiology shows if you look at populations around the world that have little Alzheimer's and have good functioning brains all the way into 100, which is what you want, what I want, is they eat food uniquely low in iron. Now in America, we've added iron to all of our grains, and because it's added to all our grains, we accumulate iron all the time. And we consider a normal ferritin in the range of 15 to 200. But in fact, if you look at people who don't get Alzheimer's and who have healthy brains, their average ferritin is 20. That would be considered way at the low end in America. Finally, there's just mechanism of injury. If you look at animal models where it's been shown that the accumulation of iron in the brain is probably a reaction to your brain trying to get rid of iron. And so that leads to the protein fragment that we call beta amyloid that makes plaques accumulating. So Alzheimer's then might be a disease where your brain is desperately trying to protect itself by getting rid of iron. So we can't dissolve the plaque, but we can get rid of the iron. Get it? So you've got iron all through your diet. It comes in fortified cereals. It comes in fortified wheat. Try looking on the labels for fortified, and you'll see all the time on just plain regular grocery store flour and breakfast cereals that there's iron added everywhere. Think about how you can stop eating as much iron. So what will work for me? I just went looking through all of our wheat products in our home, and sure enough, there's fortified everywhere. I looked at my ibuprofen pills that are covered with red, and that's covered with iron. I looked at the red meat in my refrigerator, and I looked up the value of that, and I think, oh my gosh, there's heme iron all over the place. And I looked up my own iron. My ferritin's 140. I think I want my ferritin to be 20. I'm going to donate some blood. You should too. Thank you. This is Dr. John Whitcomb giving you this week's News in Nutrition, the trouble with iron in your brain.